Training gym in DeKalb, Illinois, talking food, the value of a personal trainer, and exercise at home. If you have questions, you're watching live on Periscope, we'd love to hear them. If you're checking us out on Periscope, we love seeing hearts, we love the replay, we love the shares. If you're watching later on social media or YouTube, by all means, feel free to share. If you have a question to ask, your question will turn into tomorrow's content for a video, or it will turn into a blog post, or maybe it'll turn into both. Guilt-free eatings. So at the time we're taping this, we're a few days after Valentine's Day. I have some competitive clients that do physique contests, so bodybuilding, bikini, figure, men's physique, women's physique, whatever. Case, simple, make it easy, whatever. People getting on stage in small bathing suits. So with the Valentine holiday, if we can even call Valentine's a holiday, most or many people are going to go out and have a big meal. If they're of age, they might have some alcohol, and they may be inclined to have chocolate or some type of junk food. I got this question from some of our competitive clients regarding, hey, I actually had some chocolate, some other stuff on Valentine's. I'm killing it on my nutrition. I'm doing everything right, except I had these chocolates. Well, here's the reality. As long as you're doing the little things well most of the time, having those chocolates on Valentine's Day will not amount to a hill of beans. Modern day, what everybody likes to call flexible dieting, we call eat by color, and eat by color is like circa 2001, 2002, 2003 when we actually put it into writing as a manuscript. 2011 it became a book. The bottom line is it's not going to matter. So if you had chocolate, you had some junk food for the Valentine's holiday, don't sweat it, just get back on track. Don't feel guilty. It's not going to matter. The other thing, cardio is not a magic eraser for the chocolates you had on Valentine's Day. It's kind of like once you fry an egg, there's no one frying it. Once you've had the chocolate, the candy, the junk food, if you went out and had a nice meal with your significant other, maybe had a glass of wine or two or three, or maybe a margarita or a martini, a few beers, whatever it is, try to do cardio the next day to offset the calories from the meals the day before, the quote-unquote cheats. It's not a magic eraser. You can't unfry the egg. You can't undo having had those foods. And again, at the end of the day, it's really not going to matter, even for those competitors getting ready to do some physique-type contests where they're going to be in a small bathing suit. So don't sweat it. If you happen to have something, and by the way, in Eat by Color, we say very readily, if you want it, have it. Go ahead and have it, and don't worry about it. Life goes on. Just get back on track. Make sure you keep doing the little things well. It will not matter. Personal training. What is the real value in having a personal trainer? Do they really just count reps for you? On one hand, believe it or not, most trainers do nothing more if you're working one-on-one in a club or a studio or a training center or a box gym or whatever you want to call it. If you're working one-on-one, yes, most of the trainers really are just counting reps. But let me tell you where the value is in that. If they weren't there to count your reps, you're not going to be there. So it's not a matter of, I'm paying him to count reps. No, you're paying to show up 2 or 3 days a week and spend an hour being physically active. And 10 out of 10, I won't even say 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times, if that trainer's not there, most clients won't be. So the value is paying for that training means you're actually going to show up. There's a better way to do it. It's the way we do it in our training facility here at FitWorkz. We do very little one-on-one training anymore. Why? Because it's cost prohibitive, cost preventative. It's not something people can do long-term. We like long-term, just like nutrition. We like a long-term strategy to happy, healthy, well, losing pounds and inches. We treat our training differently, but if you're training in another facility that is big on the one-on-one training, what you're paying for is accountability. You're paying to show up, and that's why it has a chance of working and actually producing results and helping you reach your goal. And at the end of the day, if what's important to you is reaching your goal, if what it takes for you to get there, with what it takes for you to show up on a consistent, regular basis to actually exercise, train, lift weights, or whatever is paying that trainer, then pay the trainer. Shut up about all they do is count reps and be glad that you're actually making progress to your goal. Once that's happened, we can split hairs. We can talk about the value of a good trainer and a bad trainer, but at the end of the day, for most people, buying the training means you're actually going to be accountable you're actually going to show up, you're actually going to be active, and that's going to do a lot more for you reaching your goals than saying, I could do this myself, and then 6 months go by and you haven't been to the gym. And again, if you guys are watching, anybody's watching, you have questions, feel free to post them. We'd love to hear from you. The other thing I got, and I don't know why, it's kind of weird, things come in 2s and 3s, it seems like, because the Valentine's food thing came up a couple times, the training thing came up a couple times. The other one I got is, and it's twice today, twice in less than a work day, twice in less than 8 hours, was having home equipment and will I actually use it? The answer for most people is no. And why won't you use the home equipment? Because there's no accountability. And if you're looking at buying home equipment, if you're looking at investing some money, dedicating some space in the spare bedroom, the basement, the upstairs, or part of the garage, you really need to have an honest conversation with yourself. It needs to go something like this. If I spend the money on it, am I really going to use it? Okay, it's not a case of, it's not like the movie, if you build it, they will come. If you buy it, it doesn't mean you're going to do it. If you buying the book Eat by Color is not doing Eat by Color. And we have a lot of people say, I tried it and it didn't work. Well, trying it's not buying the book. You actually have to open it and execute it. So if you're looking at buying the home equipment, you really need to ask, you know, that's assuming you have the floor space in a room, a garage, the basement, upstairs. Assuming you have the cash to buy some equipment, you really need to ask yourself, am I really going to do this? Am I actually going to make the time to go exercise at home, or am I going to be more inclined to answer the phone, spend time with the kids, which is important, do yard work, do housework, clean? Maybe you're a small business owner, you can instead do paperwork, get caught up on accounting or any of those things. So really you got to answer that question. Are you actually going to use it? If you're not, take that money, go to a local training gym, someplace like FitWorkz, where you can actually get access affordably to training month in and month out. Take that money and invest it in the training, and you'll probably find the money you'd spend for equipment at home will buy you 3, 6, or maybe even 12 months of access to training at a training gym. And again, what you're buying, first and foremost, is you're buying accountability. You're actually going to show up, and showing up is you know, that's a mission critical step one. You can't say enough about that. Any questions from anybody?
Nope.
Check out Eat by Color. Remember, buying the book is not doing Eat by Color, it's buying a book. Buying a book on being an astronaut does not make me an astronaut, even if I read it. Buying a book like Eat by Color isn't going to help you get out of the fat boy pants like I used to wear. Executing and using the info in the book is going to make that happen. If you're looking for some exercise ideas, training ideas, you're actually going to the gym on your own, you don't feel like you confidently know what you're doing, check out Exercise Galore. It will teach you over 100 exercises, built for you training programs in the back of the book, and then we do have the option you can train with us. If you're watching this, you live in Timbuktu, wherever that might be, far away from DeKalb, Illinois, we have affordable training options where we can actually train you through our app, provide that accountability, and again, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get programming that works. We know that because we use the same programming here in our club. We're going to give you affordable access to that, and the biggest thing is, and I can't say this enough, it's the accountability. Thanks for tuning in.